I'll let Asher share the selfie if he wants to. Oh. As we are beginning our next series, and oh, my apologies, I'm going to very quickly try and set up some predictions here for the semifinals as we're getting into this and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing DragonKy Gaming. It is Dark. Arguably the two best Zerg players in Korea right now. Arguably, I love you, Solar. Top three. Dark, RagnaroK, and Solar. They are the trifecta that do build up the best Zergs in Korea. But only one can make it to the finals tonight. Only one can move forward. As predictions are now open, upon hearing this message, you have, I believe, 3 minutes to place your bets on who you believe is going to move on to the grand finals. This is a prediction for the series, not for just the game. So bear that in mind. As we have a little bit of information already, hatch gas pools all around, no aggressive opener here, and it makes sense because we are on Ancient Sister and one of the larger maps in the map pool. It does take longer to move out across the map. It is easier to scout your opponent if they are going for an early pool, and both players will be respecting each other here in the early stages of this game. Also, as a reminder, this is a best of 3, not a best of 5, so we aren't going to get into that extended series until the finals. Bear that in mind. Until then, this ZvZ, my opinion, is going to be hard to call because, in general, I will say that Dark is the more solid player overall. When it comes to all of his matchups, I do think that he is maybe slightly above RagnaroK in general. But specifically in ZvZ, because things can get really chaotic, I do think that RagnaroK can, quote-unquote, cause an upset. Or I do think that he has more potential in ZvZ compared to Dark, just because of how aggressive RagnaroK can be. Things can get really intense really quickly. For those of you who remember, RagnaroK is the player that eliminated Cyril from IEM Katowice from the World Finals a month ago. So, again, it just goes to show how good RagnaroK's ZvZ is. Arguably the best in the world, arguably. So, yeah, Dark is going to have to overcome that, and we'll see who is the better player on the day. That's kind of what this usually comes down to. Both players are good enough where either one could win the series, and usually it comes down to how good they're feeling, you know, making sure they're well rested, they've had plenty to eat, they've had plenty of water as well, they aren't distracted, they can focus on the game and focus on this series. Who's it going to be? And we do already see, you know, again, hatch gas pool, third base is being taken on time from both players. RagnaroK is going for, actually, RagnaroK is skipping his Baneling nest, and Dark is not. Dark is going to be applying pressure here with Ling Bane, going to be looking to punish this third base. RagnaroK is only going to be able to defend with pure Ling Queen. So he will have a bit of a tech disadvantage here. The advantage that RagnaroK has is that he will be saving gas, and he is going to be able to get into roaches faster if he survives. If he's able to survive the Ling Bane portion of this game. Here we go, 4 Banelings already being morphed in, 2 across the map, 2 here towards the south as well. These 2 are headed towards the natural. Dark sending the other 2 to support his army here at the third. We do see a surround on that hatchery. The Queens are coming in to support. At the same time, the Banelings are waddling on in. Oh, and it looks like the third base should be going down at the same time. No reaction. Ooh. 7 drones go down as well. This is the classic Dark maneuver. This time I was ready for it because Dark, in a lot of ZvZs on Ancient Sister, will do this, where he has 2 Banelings to the north, 2 to the south, to try and distract and do the maximum amount of damage. Dark, he takes down the base and 7 drones. Now all he has to do is defend. Again, the one downside is that RagnaroK does have a faster Roach Warren. He also has a faster +1 carapace timing. So RagnaroK is going to be able to hit a timing with these upgrades a little bit faster, but Dark is still going to be aggressive here. He's still active with his things, and he's going for the Queens. Oh. Doesn't quite get them in the end. He goes for the base instead, but I do think there's a little bit too much here to defend. Dark, though, he wants it. He gets a full surround, and he's going to be able to force a cancel. Ooh. That's pretty close. Very nicely done by Dark. Meanwhile, here across the map, Roach production has commenced. Dark is catching up in those Roaches. He doesn't have a lair yet either. So again, RagnaroK still has that technical lead, but is behind worker-wise, is behind production-wise as well. So Dark, he's gonna have a bit of a weaker army, but a larger army is kind of a better way to put it. And mate, it's all about being big. Sometimes, especially in ZvZ, size is what matters. We'll see if that's the case here for Dark, as we do see +1 carry base done for RagnaroK. He's going straight into +1 range as well, so he's going to be maintaining that upgrade lead by just piling on and getting one after the other. Meanwhile, Dark has droned up to 45, and he is stopping at 45, continuing Ling and Roach production. Just waiting for his own upgrade to finish as well. Still no lair, by the way. And without a lair, Dark is going all in. There is no longevity in this game. He's banking up his army back at home. He's going to be going all in with a timing attack with +1 carapace. RagnaroK is none the wiser. RagnaroK is in the middle of droning. He has to drone because he lost so many workers earlier. And if he's caught with his pants down, then this may just be it. Here we go, the army is spotted. RagnaroK is now aware of what's coming his way. It may be wise to evacuate the third base. He may just need spine crawlers as well. He's trying to produce an army right now, but Dark, he just has so much. He is up over 20 supply. God, that's a lot of links. And here we go. Once again, Dark is diving on the third, but he doesn't want the third. He wants to end the game. He's going for the third. He's going for the natural instead. Oh, he has to be careful not to be distracted. Okay, there we go. He's going for the secure damage. Is going for that third base. The hatchery will fall. Dark is droning behind this. You love to see it. So he knows he already has that lead. Meanwhile, this Roach Ward is looking a little bit exposed. Not gonna lie, but here we go. Dark is going for the kill. He's going for the Roaches. Oh, Biles are gonna be connecting. I don't think Dark has enough to break him though. The upgrades finish. RagnaroK has a 1-1. He also has Roach speed. Dark is in a really awkward position here. RagnaroK killing his own Evo chamber, so you can have a bit of a better angle here as he moves out. Dark racing back home. He has to be careful not to die to the counterattack. He's ahead in bases. He's still ahead in workers as well. His lair is later. He's still about to finish up his lair, and he's behind in the overall Roach upgrades. But again, he's still able to maintain a lead. Why? Because he's catching up in those upgrades. And RagnaroK just killed his Evo chamber. So if RagnaroK wanted to take advantage of this and go into +2, it's so delayed. It's giving an opportunity here for Dark to catch up. So RagnaroK may be regretting killing that Evo chamber a little bit, not gonna lie. There we go, the Evo chamber is on. +2 range should be starting momentarily. Meanwhile, Dark, with all this freedom, with all of these workers, he is taking up, he's going for a Hydra Den. He will soon have access to a Lurker Den. Meanwhile, there's that +2, so RagnaroK still will have a faster +2 timing, but the window between these upgrades, between Dark and RagnaroK, isn't as large as it once was. Oh, the Queens! Dark just being active here with his Overseer and his Lings, trying to pick off a couple of creep tumors, trying to maintain map control. Meanwhile, Hydras are being incorporated. An interesting choice to actually invest into the Hydra upgrades and actually mix in some Hydras. They will be able to pick off these Overlords, but hopefully Dark doesn't over-invest into them, because Hydras can be a trap in this matchup, which I'm sure Dark is fully aware of. Meanwhile, now he has +2. You know, again, the window here isn't as large. Dark closing the gap in the upgrade timings. Roach speed now finishing up as well. We have a fourth base on the way, while RagnaroK is still struggling to saturate his third. And it looks like RagnaroK's going all in. Dark has to be careful not to overdrone. Dark has a 20 worker lead. He needs to work on army right now because RagnaroK has an army lead. Oh, what did we scout? Looking at the vision, the Hydra Den was confirmed. Yep, RagnaroK, he is going all in. He's soon about to be maxed, but he's getting supply blocked. Oh, the Hydras are coming in clutch. They're killing off all these Overlords, and RagnaroK cannot max out. He's stuck at 182 supply. The roaches are now found. Dark is aware of the army positioning. He's going to be able to rotate his army to meet him. Again, Dark has the overall stronger army now. With the Hydras, Lurker Den on the way, Lunkers, Infestation Pit, Hive, all the good stuff. RagnaroK is super max though. That's the difference, right? RagnaroK barely has any workers, no fourth base, but he has a very large Roach Ravage army. This is designed to just bulldoze through and end the game. He's supposed to overwhelm Dark. Meanwhile, we have a Ling run by, and RagnaroK, he barely has an economy to speak of. Now he's about to have even less. Oh, as the queens are being surrounded. Here we go, RagnaroK. He's looking to just break his way through, but he is met by the army of Dark. He cannot push through that base. He cannot push through that choke point even. You see RagnaroK trying to find another angle, rotating over towards the right-hand side instead. Lurkers are already coming out. RagnaroK is on a timer. He's been on a timer. Fourth base is going to be going down. Spinecrawler as well. Lunkers are on the way. RagnaroK, he's going to try and get on top of these again. If too many Lunkers come out, then RagnaroK cannot do anything about it. He does get the fourth at least, but he loses 8 drones and 2 queens across the map. Oh, does he have no detection? RagnaroK? Oh, fighting on top of Lurkers, not like this. GG gets called. And Dark takes game number 1. Ooh. RagnaroK, I don't think he realized how many Lurkers there were. I think he saw some of them being morphed in. But, yeah, just diving in on top of them. No way to deal with them. GG. Dark doing a great job at maintaining control of that game, punishing the economy, punishing the bases, pulling RagnaroK apart, forcing him all in, and being prepared for that all in as well. Very well played. And now Dark has a lead in this series. Where will we go from here? Where will we go? Oh, all right. Oh my god. RagnaroK's like, ready? But Belair, the German caster, he's in the player slot. He's like, no, I need 5 more years of training. I love you, Belair. I love you. All right, here we go. We are going to be getting into game number 2. Dark taking a lead in this series. Oh. Can he take it all? Can he take it all here? Can he take the 2-0? Or can RagnaroK fight back on Gressvan? As Gressvan is going to be the map of choice. One of the more dynamic maps out there. You love to see it. Oof. As we are loading on in, and there we go, there we go. A little bit concerned. It took a little bit to get on in, but yes, game number 2 will be on Gressvan. And will it all end here, or will we get an ace match? Okay, just being silly in DMs. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of... Oh, there you go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X, currently down in the series but not out. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing DragonKy Gaming. It is Dark. Alright, I'm done. Oh, God. Beautiful, puppy, beautiful. All right. And yeah, so far pretty standard. There's hatch gas pool all around. No one is no one is taking the bait here. No one going for an early spawning pool. Not this time. Not this time. They're not crazy, puppy. They're not crazy. Oh. We'll see. We'll see how this does go. As yeah, we did see again a bit of a variation last game. Important to take note that if you remember last game, Dark did actually RagnaroK skipped his Baneling nest, tried to be a little bit greedy by going straight into roaches instead, and that can be a risky thing to do. As we saw, it can be quite risky. Playing the Ling Bane battle without any Banelings, it does give your opponent a big advantage, and Dark was able to take full advantage of that situation. Unfortunately, RagnaroK wasn't able to keep up with the multi-pronged aggression of Dark, and off the bat, basically, in the early game, RagnaroK was on the back foot. So I doubt we're going to see that again, especially on a map as open as this. I imagine RagnaroK is going to be going for a Baneling nest this time, is basically what I'm trying to say. He's not going to skip it. He's not going to skip it. He shouldn't skip it. But we'll see, we'll see. Meanwhile, Dark's play was pretty standard, honestly. Like, what we saw from Dark is what we usually do see. You know, off of 3 bases, you're aggressive with Ling Bane, you cut workers, and then you go back into droning, and you just kind of maintain that pressure, maintain that aggression, and map control. So we'll see how this all does unfold, as RagnaroK is going to be cutting drones a little bit earlier. We have 8 Lings on the way. Both players are taking their 3rd bases on time, as to be expected, but RagnaroK, he's banking up those Lings, and he's making more. Meanwhile, there is the defensive Baneling nest from Dark, but again, this Baneling nest isn't going to be ready in time. It's going to be a close defense here for Dark, as RagnaroK is going to be Ling flooding across the map. We do have a bit of a later Baneling. No, oh my, RagnaroK, he decides not to. He thought about it. He was about to throw down the Baneling nest, but he thought better of it, as there we go. It's going to be thrown down a little bit later instead, just preserving some of those resources for more Lings. And Dark brings all of his queens to the front lines. He's going for a full wall as well. He may be forced to cancel. He does see that the 3rd base was taken from RagnaroK, but again, with this massive flood of Lings, ooh, there it is. It cancels just in time. Banelings are on the way, but before they can come out, RagnaroK, he's busting on through. He's getting on top of the queens. Reinforcements come in just in time, though. Dark able to fend them off for now. But again, Dark is now down a base, and RagnaroK is saturating his 3rd behind this. Of course, RagnaroK is a little bit vulnerable to a counterattack, but he has a defensive Baneling nest, so he should be okay. This is all going to come down to the control. Up! 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 Oh, Dark barely saving that. Oh, saving that Baneling in the end. Oh, once again, so far the control from Dark quite good here, preserving those Banelings, pushing on forward, gaining some ground here behind this. He's retaking his 3rd base. He's going to be slightly behind in that. Baneling does end up going off. Not the best trade here from Dark, but he is not stopping with the aggression. He can't. He has to try to catch back up. He has to make up for the worker deficit that he now has. Oh, as RagnaroK is going for a massive run by. Dark sees it. He has to pull back. He has to respect these Lings. It looks like Dark will get here in time. So overall, a good start. Oh, God! No, no! No one was looking! Dark wasn't looking, and neither was RagnaroK. No one really gets punished for that, as RagnaroK is able to slip by those Banelings. Ugh. And yeah, from here, it's going to be a bit of a road to recovery from Dark. He is getting his own +1 range. He is getting his own Baneling nest. Banelings are rolling on in. More efficient trades for Dark there in the end. Nice target firing from those queens. RagnaroK does have the drone advantage. He has his gases being taken as well. He's gonna have some options available to him with these gases. He can go for a faster, I was gonna say a faster lair to maybe get into a spire, but no lair whatsoever from RagnaroK. How the turns are tabling. Oh, as a couple of Lings do make it into the main base, we're getting a full scout. We get eyes on the lair timing of Dark. Again, Dark forced to be the more defensive player this game. Not really something that he's used to being, to be honest. It's not his comfort zone. He wants to be the aggressor, Papi. He wants to. Gonna have a later lair from RagnaroK, but he has been able to drone up and fully saturate his third base very nicely. And yeah, like, it's gonna be a bit of a tough ask here for Dark. It may be worth either taking a fourth base a little bit faster. Another way to do this is, it's hard to go for any run bys right now because there are roaches spread out in between all the bases to defend against banelings. Instead, Dark, he's gonna just have to hope to try to out-trade his opponent once the engagements do begin. As Dark is slowly catching up, slowly but surely. Of course, RagnaroK is gonna be mining more for longer, so again, he still has that economic lead overall. +2 range on the way. RagnaroK with his economy. This is what I assumed would happen. We have a Spire on the way as well. We have all of our gases. We have an influx of money. RagnaroK should know that he's relatively safe, and these mutas are going to be a secure way for him to just get that map control and keep it, and maybe even keep Dark on 3 bases. We have a 4th on the way. This is spotted by RagnaroK. But can Dark actually saturate it is going to be the question. And can Dark scout the Spire in time? We do see RagnaroK dipping in with an Overseer, just confirming that there is no Spire from Dark, as Dark did have a faster lair. Meanwhile, likewise, Dark also going in with 2 Overseers as well. Now that the third bases have been saturated, he sees the upgrades on the way. Is he going to be able to get eyes on the Spire? That's the question. He's going all the way into the main, and it looks like he will get eyes on it. Very important scout from Dark. On top of this, he has to make sure that RagnaroK doesn't cancel it either. As soon as he sees it, Hydrogen gets thrown down. The Hydrogen is on the way, so we will have some anti-air, and it looks like Dark is going to be the defender. I'm getting some flashbacks here. For those of you that saw KSL last week, Dark versus Scarlet was this. It was Dark being behind in the early game on Gressvan, and he just turtled. He just got 4 bases, very slowly took a 5th base, went up to Hive, went up to Lurkers. There's the Lurker Den, and Dark is more than... He also confirms that the Spire wasn't cancelled, and Dark is more than happy to just turtle up, just solidify his defenses here, and look to receive any kind of aggression from RagnaroK until Dark himself is maxed. Up! Oh, we do have a bit of a bailing drop here, but no, it gets caught out by the mutas. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a Ling harassment force set up as well. Roaches are rushing across the map. We do have roaches to defend here for Dark, but he is down in supply. 50 roaches against 37 of Dark. This roach push may just end it. The mutas are dancing between the bases. Dark sees nothing. His overlords were forced to turn around and come back home. Here we go. The roaches do reveal themselves. Dark has to respond here, but the 4th, oh god, the 4th, it's gonna go down. Oh, can he get it? Can he get it? Oh. 4th hatchery does go down. Dark forced to engage here. He's going to take an overall better trade. At the same time, he goes for a Ling run by, but RagnaroK was quick to respond. Likewise, Dark does defend against the mutas. And Dark does kill a lot of roaches, but RagnaroK, he is remaxing with pure roach. Yeah, Dark knows that. He doesn't want to overextend. He's forced to back off, slowly take another 4th base. Double expanding because he has to. And even though Dark is again on the back foot, I think he can still deal with this situation. Again, he's just gonna be the defender. He's just gonna make lunkers, Papi. Like as soon as he gets lunkers out, I do think that he can hold, even though he's down in army supply. I do think that he's going to be okay. Hydras are coming out. There we go. The first 2 lunkers are being morphed in. Everyone get ready for a long one. Oh boy. Meanwhile, RagnaroK, saturating his 4th, taking control of his side of the map. Oh, can he get a kill? Ooh, he will force a cancel on the 5th base. Meanwhile, Dark just diving on top of this, eating a couple of biles, but he will take a better trade overall. And this is okay. He does cancel the 5th, but he was double expanding. So at least one of these hatcheries is going to get up and running. RagnaroK himself getting his own 5th. Lurkers, burrowing, getting in position. Hive on the way. Soon we should be seeing some Vipers. Meanwhile, likewise, RagnaroK also getting his own Lunker Den. For those wondering, yes, we are going to get into Lurker versus Lurker. That is upon us. We can look ahead and we can see it coming, Papi. We can and there's no getting away from it. There is no getting away from it. We see RagnaroK trying to find a way into those bases. But he cannot. He will not. Well, we have a Nidus on the way, so RagnaroK doesn't want to play this out. He doesn't want this to be longer than it needs to be. He wants to be the aggressor. He wants to find an opening. He does have an Overseer here in the main. Oh my god, show me the Nidus! There it is. Dark does see it, but does he see it? His army sees it. It looks like his army is responding at least to the positioning of these roaches, but RagnaroK is going to go straight into the main. Dark forced to just try to split up his army on the fly here. He does have Lurkers at his 5th base, but what about his 4th? We see RagnaroK's main army trying to rotate over and try to find a way in. He gets a Spore, but the Lunkers, the defensive Lurkers, are just a little bit too good. There was an opportunity with that Nidus, but we can see only one is what it takes for Dark to take this very seriously. He has Spine Crawlers and Spores on the way. At the same time, the main armies are clashing, but because of the Lurkers, RagnaroK can't really threaten the main bases. As the Hive upgrades are on the way for both players, RagnaroK himself is transitioning into Lurker play. We have Vipers on the way as well for both players, and these are the ways that we can break these contains and try to break these Lurker lines. Again, I appreciate that RagnaroK, he's trying to be active and he's trying to find another way to end the game, but again, Dark is doing a great job at just keeping up time and time again. We have another Nidus being thrown down, but this is spotted by Dark. Oh, we do have a detection available, but the Overseer does get sniped, and yeah, with that, we do have a backup Overseer to be fair, but Dark, his defense is just too solid across the map. In the main, the Nidus is cleaned up. Another Nidus into the natural though. Dark, does he see? Does he know? The answer is yes. Yeah, he does. Nidus is going to be cleaned up. Oh, once again, Dark just taking the better trade overall. Even though he has worse upgrades. Very impressive. He has the high ground, he has the better positioning, he forces RagnaroK back, but it's okay. RagnaroK wants to lose roaches because he's replacing the roaches with hydras and with lurkers. Oh, the lurkers were in the Nidus. Oh, that's terrifying. There you go, we have another Nidus going into the main base. Once again spotted, once again denied. Here we go. It looks like RagnaroK, he has given up on the Nidus play. He wants to push in with his entire army. That's a lot of lurkers. Let's look at the units tab here. We have 15 lurkers for RagnaroK. We only have 5 for Dark. Dark has a little bit too much Roach Ravager, to be honest. RagnaroK, he has a lead in lurkers. He also has a lead in Vipers. Speaking of, the Vipers are leading the charge. Oh my god, and the lurkers have been revealed, and Dark just doesn't really have an army. He has a bank, but he doesn't have what he needs. Ugh. Mainly relying on Roach Ravager. Yeah, RagnaroK is going to be pushing forward. At the same time, we do have a Roach Rumba here towards the north. Dark knows he has to get rid of these roaches. Lurkers are peeled off to harass the mineral line. At the same time, it looks like this hatchery is going to go down. It's going to be close. Going to be very close. Those 3 lurkers do get cleaned up. Meanwhile, the roaches across the map are going to be able to take this fight as well. But the hatchery will be saved. Nice counterattack there from Dark, to be honest. as able to get some breathing room, rebuild more lurkers, more hydras, more vipers. Oh, this will continue. It's going to be all about late game control. So what I mean by that is when the armies do clash, it's going to be about positioning. Like we've seen, RagnaroK has been the aggressor. You can see how much RagnaroK just wants to find an opening. He wants to break a base of Dark. So Dark is always going to have the advantage. Like he's going to have the defender's advantage. He's going to have spores, spines, and queens to support his army, and that's why it's going to be up to RagnaroK to try and find an opening, right? If he's able to, then he can take the game. If not, and if he takes a bad fight, then Dark will counterattack immediately and win. Ugh. It's kind of on a knife's edge if we do ever have a big committed fight. RagnaroK is sharking around, he's taking all of his bases. Dark slowly expanding and taking his. Burrow is now completed for RagnaroK. He's going to try and go for a roach run by. Bold move, especially because there are spores everywhere, so I don't know if this is really going to work. Here we go, the roaches have been on Burrow. They move on forward as well. There is no detection, but they run past the lurkers into more lurkers. And they run back into more lurkers. Oh, God. Ugh. Dark didn't even have to respond to that. The lurkers on their own dealt with this. I like the move from RagnaroK. He's like, yo, I'll run past the first line of defense and there's nothing else there. But nah, mate, there's lurkers everywhere. There's actually lurkers everywhere. Speaking of being everywhere, we do see Dark denying the 6th base here towards the north. Sorry, 7th base even. Oh, one lurker goes down as well. At the same time, we do have a Nidus into the main, but RagnaroK is in position. We'll be able to deny it. Now, how suddenly the tables have turned. Now, Dark is the player with the map control. Dark is the one looking for a way in. Trading quite well here, getting some biles off as well. Again, we want to get rid of these Ravagers. Towards the north, we want to get rid of these Roaches. Oh my god, 10 Viper? We may have too many Vipers. I don't think 10 Vipers are really what we need, but you know, it's Dark. You do you, buddy. So for those who don't know, the idea behind amassing Vipers like this is you're gonna have 2 groups of Vipers. The first group is gonna dance with the army of RagnaroK, and more likely than not, RagnaroK is gonna parasitic bomb your Vipers. The Vipers are gonna parasitic bomb each other, and there's gonna be like a battle with the Vipers first. And the idea here is that even if that fight goes poorly for Dark, it's gonna lure RagnaroK in, and then Dark is gonna have a second group of Vipers that will support his army, and will just blinding cloud and parasitic bomb everything. Again, that's the idea of having this many Vipers. We'll see if he can pull it off. Meanwhile, speaking of power bombs, there we go. The parasitic bombs are going to be going off. The counter of Ducks are there as well, though. Dark will lose 2 Vipers. When he doesn't kill any Vipers of RagnaroK. Oh. Alright, here we go. Without any supporting Vipers, RagnaroK, he smells blood in the water. He gets a couple of yoinks off, but the Vipers of Dark are coming back in. God, and there are so many of them. We should split them up, though. We don't need them all right here, right now. And here we go. They're going to yoink each other. Oh, God. Ah! All the yoinks, all the blinding clouds. Counter yoinks as well. Oh, on the detection. Ooh. And after all said and done, yeah, RagnaroK came out worse for wear. He's down to 2 Vipers, but he's rebuilding them. 6 more Vipers on the way. But now RagnaroK is vulnerable as the wall is being rebuilt. More spores. All the spores. Oh boy. It's a lot of spores. Likewise, spores are also coming to the front lines here for RagnaroK as well. The spore forest. Oh my god, no, don't kill your own building. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Oh god. Okay, we're good. So harassing lurker is gonna get cleaned up. Both players continuing to refine their armies. 3-3 done all around for everyone involved. We don't have a transition into Broodlords yet, but that is an option available to our players. If they want to throw down some Spires, they can lose some Lurkers and go into Broodlords instead. That is possible. That is possible. Oh, but before that happens, we see RagnaroK trying to push in towards the south, but the Vipers are already here as well. But he's going for some yoinks. Up. Oh, doesn't get them there. RagnaroK playing with fire, mate. Here we go. The siege is commencing once again. RagnaroK rotating everything up towards the north. He really wants to make this work. He wants it, Papi. He wants it. Ooh. And he's slowly edging on closer here. The Vipers of Dark took a little bit longer to get here. Meanwhile, here we go. Show us the parasitic bombs. Oh, don't see them yet. Ooh, a couple of yoinks are coming in. The Vipers of RagnaroK were out of position. He couldn't punish the Vipers of Dark. Some nice trades overall from our blue Zerg player. Oof. Oh. Oh, just continuing to get more and more value here. RagnaroK throwing away a lot. Oh. Oh. There we go. He does get one power bomb on an Overseer, not on a Viper. Not really what we want to be seeing. And here in the late game, Dark is showing off that he has a better Viper control. Better positioning even. Slow and steady, mate. Slow and steady. Meanwhile, the Vipers rotating towards the south. The Hydras as well. RagnaroK maybe looking for another angle. Looking for another way in. Oh, yeah, Doc's just chilling. Oh. Hydras are going to move on forward. They're going to be able to find a lot of these spores, actually. Like, there's only one Lurker in position, so this is a good trade for Dark. He just keeps finding them, mate. Oh! Oh, here we go. Some blinding clouds thrown down as well. RagnaroK overextending. He does get a couple of abducts, and he does connect a power bomb with those Vipers. Ooh. Bit of a late split from Dark. Oh my god. Do we have any queens? That's a good question. We have 5 queens for Dark. We do have transfused energy. Yeah, Dark is going to be topping himself up. Meanwhile, RagnaroK rotates over towards the south instead. No Vipers in position, so we do see these Lurkers pushing Dark back. Meanwhile, he is going to be topping up these Vipers with those queens. Being very efficient with his army. He's making more Vipers. Ay. I feel like the next point of contention is going to be this southern base here for RagnaroK. I don't know if he's going to be able to mine from it. We'll see. We'll see if Dark is able to allow that to happen. Once again, RagnaroK focusing on the northern base. Coming in from the south this time. Doesn't really have too much support of spores down here, unfortunately. Which is worrisome. Ugh. The yoinks are coming in. Oh! Again, Dark's just trading a little bit better. Oh, he wants the power bomb. Gets the abduct. Oh! We do end up yoinking each other. Just trading out energy here, basically. Like a couple of key units picked off here and there, but nothing too major, not yet. Both players are very careful not to overextend. Like, at the drop of a dime, things can pop off and everything's gonna go crazy. If anyone, like, kind of runs out of patience, if anyone, like, their frustration goes too high. Meanwhile, bottom right-hand base is being secured here. We have spores being put in position. We have one Lurker as well. Oh. Looks like RagnaroK is going to be able to take that base. Meanwhile, here we go. The Vipers are coming in. Oh my god, and we mass abduct RagnaroK. He wasn't looking. He wasn't able to do anything in response. Meanwhile, at the same time, we do have a nice into main base, but no, RagnaroK is in position. He shuts it down immediately. Dark. Gonna have to back off and regenerate that energy. He's gonna have to suck, Papi. He sucks. Oh. Sucking on all that youth juice. Oh. And as a result, his Vipers are out of commission. As a result, RagnaroK is going to be able to pick up a couple of units here and there. It does get one lurker. Interesting Nidus. It actually is going to finish, but there's nothing in the Nidus. Does finish up here. Just merely a distraction as Dark is going to be pushing on forward. He takes down all the spores on the high ground. Up! The Vipers are going to have 1, 2 parasitic bombs. Dark, can he split? Up, up, up! Ugh. We'll lose a couple of Vipers there. Oh, I think he lost like 3 or 4 Vipers. Okay, he's gonna have to rebuild. It's all good. Oh, but Dark, with killing all those spores, he's actually gaining some ground. He's slowly pushing onto the high ground. Looks like he's going to be able to take down the spine crawler as well. There's the abduct. It's one lurker. Where the Vipers here of RagnaroK, they're showing up. Oh, counter yoinks. Oh, counter yoinks. This is going to be us for the next 5 minutes. We're just going to be picking off individual units here and there. Again, I do think that Dark has a little bit of a better position overall. Like, as in, he's made his way up the ramp, which is like the hardest thing to do. Oh, but he does have to respect the lurkers. Oh. The 2 lurkers go down. Dark is in position for another Nidus if he sees fit. Oh, but yeah, this position was just a little bit too difficult to hold on to in the end. RagnaroK does force Dark back. Oh, and now we're back to where we were. Now, yeah, RagnaroK immediately has to solidify this location. He's throwing down all of his spores. Any kind of ground that Dark gained earlier now is back in favor of RagnaroK. Dark instead rotating over quite quickly, but heavily here towards the south. But pushing through these walls of spores is so difficult. Dark having a hard time trading. He goes for a Link Flood actually. Very late in the game, but he does have +3. I think he has Adrenal Glands. He does have Adrenal. And the Lings, there's not really many things, like, there's no drones to kill, but you know, they're going to do some damage. Going to wreak a little bit of havoc. Don't do too much, unfortunately. It did some damage to some hatcheries. That's kind of it. I like the idea, though. I do like the idea. Oh, meanwhile, Dark, he does go here towards the high ground. He loses his detection. You have the Vipers coming in, passive bombs landing, blinding clouds as well. Oh my god, all the spells go down. It looks like Dark has come out on top though. Jesus, the passive bombs are just a little bit too much. Thankfully, they run out. RagnaroK barely escapes with the lives of his Vipers. Barely. And with that, Dark wants to try to press his advantage, but he needs more energy on his Vipers. Ah. Oh, don't you just love lurker versus lurker? Nidus into the main. Does RagnaroK spot it though? It looks like he has. Yep, he is responding to the Nidus. No way in here for Dark. That's what this all comes down to, you know. We're just trading. Dark does have a very, very large bank, to be fair, but that doesn't necessarily matter. Like, if things happen really quickly, then you won't have enough time to rebuild your army. Oh my god, it's the parasitic bomb. No! No! Oh. A lot of Vipers go down there. RagnaroK not really being attentive with his splits. He's down to 2 Vipers. What? And he's supply blocked. These are the only 2 Vipers that he has. This is the moment for Dark. This is the moment that he has been waiting for. The Nidus will finish. The main army is going to be pushing on forward here. RagnaroK, he needs to replace his Vipers. Oh, the Hydras push on forward. The Lurkers were out of position. Good trades for RagnaroK, but he loses the base. There we go. 9 Vipers in production for RagnaroK, but they take a long time to produce. He just lost a hatchery. He could lose a little bit more. This is the moment that Dark has been waiting for. But the window is closing. And once again, we see another cancel. Oh, we see some counter parasitic bombs, and the power bombs are gonna kill the last 2 Vipers. 9 were made for RagnaroK. He's just waiting for them to regenerate their energy. Gather that energy. Oh, the abducts are insane again. There's nothing to stop these Vipers. RagnaroK just a little bit too cavalier with his spellcasters earlier, but he's been able to rebuild, as we see here. They're on the way. Before they're ready though, Dark is going to be able to keep on pushing here. Oh, Tanias is killed. Oh, do you just love late game ZvZ? There's something about Grespot. There's something about Grespot, Bobby. Every time. But here we go. That window where RagnaroK was vulnerable is now closed. He's been able to rebuild all his Vipers, but he's running out of gas. You can see that over the past 20 minutes, Dark has just been a little bit too efficient. Until now, he's going to lose a lot, actually. Oh my god, we see the power bombs on power bombs. Oh god. RagnaroK coming out ahead there. But yeah, over the course of this entire game, Dark has just been straight up more efficient. He's just been fighting better, he's been trading better, and that's why he has such a massive gas bank. He has 10k gas opposed to the 2k gas of RagnaroK. So over time, if RagnaroK isn't able to take this base, then RagnaroK will be starved out. Like, Dark will just eventually be able to outtrade him. Well, has been outtrading him, will just overwhelm. It's been slow, it's been methodical, it's been calculated. It's been dark. It's been dark, you know. Some people like to say that, you know, he's a bit of an ape in some of the other matchups, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But in ZvZ, he's willing to play like this. He's willing to just be slow, sophisticated, delicate even, with his Vipers. Oh. A master craftsman with his control. But before that happens, you know, Dark overextending a little bit here. RagnaroK able to trade a little bit better in these last couple of moments. Dark slipping up a little bit, to be honest. He's been losing a lot of his Lurkers. We have 13 Lurkers on the way to rebuild what he has lost. How many Vipers do we have? Okay, we still have 9. Lurker in the natural, ambitious. I love it. Has been spotted and is going to go down to that Nidus. Meanwhile, we do see RagnaroK a little bit exposed. Doesn't have the support of his Spore Crawlers. We do have massive power bombs on the army of RagnaroK once again. Oof. As RagnaroK is forced all the way out. And now Dark can wedge himself here. A little bit of an awkward angle, but he's going to be able to outposition at least some of these Lurkers. Spores are going to be going down. Dark being very active on the map here, punishing RagnaroK for exposing himself. As the Vipers back off and they gather more energy, we're going to have to rebuild these Evo chambers. They are going to have to come back. Both players backing off and gathering up energy on their Vipers. We see Dark coming back just as RagnaroK does. Oh, these 3 lurkers are left on their own. They will get picked up. But Dark doesn't care because you know what? RagnaroK is out of position. Here we go. Dark was looking for an opening and he finds one 36 minutes into the game. Another hatchery is going to be going down. We do have some parasitic bombs as well, but you know what? They don't connect with the Vipers of Dark. They do connect with the Vipers of RagnaroK. Oh, here we go. Dark, he just lost his last Overseer. He doesn't have detection. Dark has to get the hell out of here. He knows it, but you know what? He's not leaving. He's just going to be rotating over towards the southern portion of the map instead. Oh, I think this may be a mistake here from Dark. Again, with no detection, he can't really fight. Yeah, he's got to run. He's got to run through all of this, and he will lose the Viper in the retreat. 1, 2, 3 Vipers go down. A risky move there by Dark, but he's able to deny a base. He's able to kill another hatchery. This bottom left-hand base, this most southern base from RagnaroK is so exposed. And that's going to be the next target for Dark, as he has been slowly, methodically, surgically picking RagnaroK apart throughout this entire game. RagnaroK is out of gas. He is straight up out of gas. And Dark, he's full of it. He's full of gas, papi. Dark is ready to explode, and here we go. The lurkers are diving on in. There are 4 lurkers to defend. The Spore moving on forward. The Overseers have finally arrived, and this hatchery is under threat. We do see RagnaroK like just scrambling here to defend. He was completely out of position. Oh, the blinding clouds are too good. The hatchery is going to go down. RagnaroK, a valiant effort overall, going toe-to-toe with Dark in the late game. And hey, he gets some really good abducts towards the end here, but where's his economy? Where is it? This hatchery's dead. This hatchery's dead. This hatchery's dead. All the hatcheries are dead. This is all the mining we have left for RagnaroK. He even lost his hatchery here on the right-hand side. It is all gone. I'm pretty sure he lost those to this. To some consume, that's it. I kept wanting to say something else that was not correct. From the consume, from the sucking. And RagnaroK cannot remax. He can make a Ling army. He has 5k minerals, he can make Lings. But Lings are not what you want against lurkers. They're pretty bad against lurkers, to be honest. Oh. Here we go, RagnaroK. He's basically all in, and he knows he's all in. He has to try to make some magic happen with this army. He's going to just be sending it across the map. He's running into a wall of lurkers, though. The Hydras are here to respond as well. The lurkers coming on in. We don't really have too many Vipers available for Dark, but they come in. Finally, the cavalry arrives. Parasite bombs are going to be slowing him down, but it is just too much. RagnaroK's army crumbles here. Oh my god. The power bomb's doing a lot of damage, but GG gets called, and Dark takes the series 2-0 after a 40-minute ZvZ. That's the wrong button. Un momento. Said huh. Oh. Said huh. There we go. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations to Dark as he takes the series 2-0 after a very long game number 2. Oh. It's a long one. But again, it was just overtime. We saw just Dark picking apart RagnaroK. Even though RagnaroK had a lead coming into the mid game, if you remember, Dark was behind economically. You know, he was behind in bases. He didn't have map control because of the mutas. If you remember, there were mutas at a certain point. Dark was up against the wall, but we've seen that position before. We saw it a couple of weeks ago in Dark versus Scarlet. I think it was like 2 weeks ago in KSL. Dark is more than willing to just turtle, be like, hey, okay, hey, you can have the map. I'll have my 4 bases. You can have your map. I'll have 4 bases. I'm just going to take up the lurkers. I'll get vipers. I'll get my spore forest. I'll get my spines. I'll slowly expand and take some more bases. I'll slowly, just methodically, just out-trade you, just fight better than you, have better viper control. And Dark, yeah, he's able to bring it back, pull it all back, and take the series. Congratulations, GG. My condolences to RagnaroK. He put up a valiant fight, a valiant effort, but honestly, when it comes to that late game situation of Hydra Lurker Viper, split map scenario, 30-40 minute game, Dark has so much patience in that situation, in that when he's in those games, and he may have the best control, late game ZvZ control out there. It's hard to say because I'll be honest, I haven't seen Serral and Raynor that often in those situations. Maybe Serral is comparable, maybe he even has better control. It's hard to say just because we haven't seen that too often, but Dark has a lot of practice here is the thing, and yeah, he just takes it. GG. GG. And congratulations to people that did bet. Oh my, it was a 50-50 split. It was a 50-50 split between Dark and RagnaroK, but congratulations to those that did indeed bet on Dark. I think the predictions was for the grand finals, which is not correct. My apologies. My apologies. It was the semifinals. I was rushing into it. There we go. And now we're getting ready for Beyond versus Dark.